Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
Right now, New Zealand, well, this was a Euro CAD. Right now, there's nothing here. It looks like it's trying to punch out the bottom. It may be something. CAD has been really strong here lately, so any trades taken on the CAD, we may be looking at going short with. It looks like it's trying to break through the bottom. We did have an alert here at, let's see, that was earlier this morning. Let's see what time that was. That was about 1 o'clock. That'd be 6 o'clock this morning. That was about an hour and a half ago. That was an entry to go short. We didn't take the trade because it was too close to the green zone. If it can break through this green zone, we have to look and see where our potential target would be. Let's go to a higher time frame, see if we can find something over to the left. Actually, let me look at the Euro CAD for anything below 49.88. Let me go to different charts. Here's Euro Aussie, Euro CAD. And there's a zone right below at 49.88. So if we can break through that area where it is right now, we have to look over to the left to see what we can find. There's nothing over there for quite a while, so we have to go to a daily chart. See a strong move up. So there's a little bit of area right down below here. Getting my stuff out of the way here. This is the bottom of the body of this candle with a strong move up. There's a strong move up over here. Came up, it based a little bit of a wick all the way down to here's the wick. And here's where we are right now. So if it can break through this 49.88 area, we may be looking at a target down here somewhere around the 49.05 area. That's a long way down. Canadian dollar's gotten very strong here lately with the oil prices going up. Let's see if we can tweak this a little bit here. Yeah, I say we're going to leave it pretty much right where it is. This was a strong move. This is where the origin was right here. So yeah, we'll just keep this right where it's at. Go back to a 15-minute chart and see how much room we have to the downside here. As this is only if it can break through that green zone. It looks like it has a little bit of a bounce off of that. So target's going to be 49.06 if it's again, we're going to be looking for our 20 pips target. We may be able to go for a little bit more on this one possibly, but I don't see anything significant until it gets all the way down below here. Let's go back to the charts. And that's about it for that one. Keep an eye on that. I think I'll see if I can put an alert on this.
We've had an S&P 500 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure if you're
Do we?
interested.
Okay.
In that. Oh, mind you, sorry. My chart's
Just
on.
popped. It just popped up just now. It's just popping up right now. S&P 500. We'll keep someone keep an eye on that CAD, that Euro CAD trade. If it breaks that 49.86, we may have a trade there. Let's check our heat map too before we go too far here. And go back over to. And see the CAD is fairly strong on all three of the 4 time frames. The CAD's the Aussie, New Zealand. Aussie's the strongest right now on the higher time frames. CAD is number 3 on the list. So we'll be trading against the Aussie, New Zealand, and CAD if anything pops up with that.
Well, you have the Swiss on top.
Yeah, the Swiss just popped in there too. So
Yeah,
the Swiss
still
is
on top.
pretty strong. So we'll be looking at the Swiss, Swiss, Aussie, and CAD. I'd say we're looking at mainly these 3 right here. I guess the US dollar is fairly weak on the higher time frames, trying to gain a little strength on the lower time frames. So we'll keep monitoring this. Let's go to the charts and see if we can find something on the US 500. That was a sell. Oh, that looks like it. Now let's see, we have 5-minute chart, bounce, we have an arrow.
Is it counter though? Yeah, it's.
That's, well, I'm wondering about that because I thought that they've been to the downside here, but let's see. It looks like it is counter trend though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was still counter trend. It has been kind of all over the place here lately.
Yeah.
See what it looks like on a 1 minute.
Pepper says that the British Swiss is similar, I guess, to the Euro CAD. If it breaks below the 1.29, we've got at least 20 pips to the fall.
Okay.
Just something to look at afterwards.
All right. The British Swiss.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all the way down there.
Oh, that was an alert by the looks of it too.
We had one earlier, way earlier this morning. At least looks like a long time earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was still a no trade. We got a lot of upward pressure. This could be a retracement period here, but we are getting into our retracement zone or our contra trend zone. Not a big fan of it, but if it looks like it's got a lot of room or something like that, we may want to consider taking a shot at it. But right now, I'm not taking that one. Spread this one out a little bit. And also we have this 200 moving average sitting right down below here.
Yeah.
See what it looks like on a 15-minute chart.
That's got enough arrow.
Yeah, I like this thing more of a, if it comes down and maybe tags, we did have a little bounce arrow here. That was way earlier this morning. But I'd like to see it maybe come back down and retest this area before, because you got this zone, you have another zone right below it. So I'll stay away from that one. That one doesn't excite me too much. Excuse my sneezing and
Bless you.
allergies are kicking in.
Bless you. Okay, that Euro CAD is working its way through the green zone.
Is it? Let's go and take a look at that.
Yeah, it's not quite through it yet, but it's struggling to get through.
Let's see where we are on the, let's see. Let's look at the Euro CAD here. Got a little bounce right off that on with that zone. Got a little bounce of it. We'll still hold off on that one a little bit. Let that one mature a little bit better.
Okay, we just got a couple, a Euro Swiss and a New Zealand Swiss. Both sell.
Euro Swiss. Euro was strong too, or the Swiss was strong. Euro Swiss. That's over here. Another sell on that one. Swiss is strong. We did see the Swiss pop up. Got a lot of green right below it. So we had, if you get through this zone, we got another one right below it. Let's see where.
New Zealand Swiss is not enough room. It's like 8 pips away from the green zone.
Let's see, where's the money zone here? Let's get the money zone over there. Let's see what we're looking at from the overnight session. And let's. There's where the money zone is. Make that a little bit brighter. And we got an up arrow. So we should have, we're in an uptrend, best I can see. Lots of green on the bottom, 2 greens, 2 reds on the top. Put an arrow in there. And we're going to scroll out. Zoom out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Here's the money zone. Here's the daybreak. We're in an uptrend. So I'm going to have this. We're looking for an upward move. We did get the break of the money zone. Here's the money zone. Here's the overnight high. Did get the break, did go up, retested the zone, fell back down. Now it's looking to see if we, not enough room to the downside, and now I'd be looking more for a bounce off of this area. I would not be surprised to see a break through this green area, come down and bounce off of this one. That's a whole other ball game.
Now, in the chat, Keyston says the pound New Zealand strategy 9. I just had a quick look at the pound New Zealand, have a look out. I don't actually like it because of the position of prices.
Is that the market maker move?
I'm not sure what position strategy 9 is. To be honest, I haven't memorized what.
I was looking at them over the weekend. I didn't see anything new pop up. So I'm thinking the last one I saw was that market maker move. This is a relatively strong move down. Now I see a bounce come back up and maybe retest, but I don't know this is going to be Euro Swiss. Let me write this down. Euro, New Zealand, Swiss. Get this out of the way.
Yeah. We also have strategy 9 mentioned in the Q&A also for the Euro US.
Yes, I'd like to see, right now we're in an uptrend. We're going to have a down arrow right into this zone right here. I would be, if it can come down and give me an up arrow off of this bounce, off of one of the bounces off of here like it did here, I would be okay with taking that. But right now I can't take that one. And then there was the New Zealand Swiss. What's another one?
That one looks identical to.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that was.
Let's scroll in, see where our zones are. Lots of green. Move it back so we can see what we're doing. Uptrend. And we'll find our money zone. Let me just do this. Let me bring all of them over here. Move the template. I may not have updated today yet. Objects. I'll call it open trade 6646. Point 6666. And I'll get the stop on here. 0.6636. And we'll find our money zone. And I guess this is all, so we can see what we're to our lines on the charts. Here's the overnight high. Here's the overnight low. This one looks like a little bit of a fake out, broke out of the range between in the overnight range now, unless it was more than 50 pips. We should see if it was. Nope, only 16 pips. So this was a little head fake. You would have lost a little bit on that one. This one would have worked on the upside. But right now we have more green, get an up arrow. You might as well just set up your charts while you're waiting around for the next alert. US Tech sell. Let's see what that one does. There's another Aussie US. Take a look at that one. And it looks like the same thing. It's looks like it's going contra trend. Where is it? 2 red, 2 green, 3 green. Right in the zone. Need to wait. Up arrow. No trade there.
We have a NASDAQ.
Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. There's still a lot of room to the downside on that one, to the next screen though.
Yeah, check the 1 minute.
Let's see, move this one up and check the 1 minute. See what they have there. Ooh, lots of green there.
Yeah.
But even though in 1 minute zones, they can still hold off a lot of trades. I'll say that much for it. But yeah, we won't take that. Let's go back to the 5 minute on this one. Look at the chart a little bit. We'll mark the zone. We'll just see what we have to the downside here. There's 12,548, so 43 would be looking at $5. There's a lot of room to that one.
That was $54.
Yeah, this would be a contra trend trade. If you took it, it'd be coming up on a contra trend trade here in a few minutes. Let's see what time is it? It is, yep, another 5 minutes. It would be in the contra trend trade zone. Let's see how strong the dollar. If the dollar is real strong, then this may be a reasonable trade. Let's see where the dollar is right now. Dollar is still weak there, still weak there. It is stronger on the 5 and 15. It would be a gamble. It'd be more of a gamble than I'd like. My NASDAQ trade worked out really well yesterday. I don't feel as good about it today. And let's see. I'm just basically looking at raw data just to determine the price action. We have a few moving averages. It is breaking through the top of the blue moving average, but it's got the bounce, which is, there's plenty of room there. I just don't like the overall. If the dollar was real strong, actually the dollar is real weak, then it'd be a little bit better opportunity. I don't like it.
Al,
Yes.
we have a few things in the Q&A. Okay. You have a question. There's two questions that were on strategy 9 that we were talking about a little while ago on the Euro US. Would it be strategy 9 if the price closed below the arrow moving average? That's on the Euro US.
Euro US, take a look at that one. If the price if the price closed below the moving average, would it be?
Right. Would it be strategy 9?
Yes. Again, I'm not sure what strategy 9 is. I have to
Yeah.
review what strategy 9 is.
Maybe somebody can tell us what they're referring to for
Yeah.
strategy 9, because we don't have it.
Yeah, we know by their names, guys, not so
Yeah.
much numbers.
Also that there's a W forming on the US yen on the 15-minute.
US yen. Minute US W. Yeah, there's W. I see that. That could be. We have a nice little bounce off the zone. Actually, this could be a good. Let's see. Where would we say the yen was on the heat map? Take a look at that. The yen is real weak, real weak, real weak. US is stronger, so US yen. So you'd be looking to trade it to the upside. That would fit. We'd have a nice little W. We have a nice little trend line down here. Now the question is, are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? We are definitely in an uptrend.
That's
This could be a nice little trade, actually.
pretty big uptrend.
Here's our W. Here's our first leg of the W. Here's the middle of the W. The second leg, nice little slope coming up. Strong move down, came out, bounced out, came back in, retested it. I think we can get a close above this moving average. We may have a trade there. See what it looks like on the 5-minute.
Strategy 9 is market maker.
Market maker, yeah. Okay, I thought that's what that one may be.
Thanks, Christian.
Nice little trade. See right there, the bounce. Got this on the 5-minute. Let's see, where's our. I'd like to see it get through this moving average on the 5-minute. Again, it's pretty much the same spot. Let's get some marks on here.
We just had an Aussie Swiss and a pound Aussie as well.
Okay,
That's true.
let me get this one marked up here, and let's see, 108.85. Trying to see what potential 109. That would be the entry. That was off a 5-minute entry, did come back, and so I said I'd like to see it come break over the top of this level right here. Actually, I'd like to see it close above the 108.86, and then we have 20 pips to the upside. Let's go on a 15-minute chart again, and that would give us some room before this down move. This is the this was the origin of this move coming down. We have to get through this part a little bit, so not quite ready to take. I'd like to see an arrow on this. I don't know if we need an arrow for those market maker moves. I don't think we do. But I'd like to see it. We did get a little close above that one.
Pepper's asking, are you worried about that pivot just to the left on the?
Well, I'm concerned. Yeah, I would say this. There's some. This was a little bit of a retracement, so there's some sellers probably up in this area. I just don't want to get caught into a trap. It's a nice little strong move up. It is. This is a nice little. It did break this trend right here. This from here to this area. It did break that wedge right there. We had this wedge. It did break that. Came back. It retested it. I'm a little bit thinking we may be a little bit late to the party, but here's the, let's see, that's 12, that's 12 pips.
Eurocad's on the move according to Pepper.
Eurocad's on the move.
Yep.
That's the one we were looking at earlier.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have a look at it myself. Yeah,
It's so funny.
going.
No, let's see. So it broke through. On 1 minute chart here, 5 minute.
I like that one.
Yeah, I think we can. Let's see, do we want to take that one?
That's no way.
Bounce right off of that. I'd like to see a close. I'd even take a 5-minute close below that 86 area. Seemed to be rejected a little bit on the 5-minute. See the price action of the 15. How much more time we have? About another 6 minutes before the 15-minute. Actually, more than that. The 15-minute is just 11 more minutes before we're going to learn on the 15-minute. Have an inside candle on that one. Yeah, I'm still going to hold off on that a little bit.
And what's your reason for that? Just out of curiosity.
Well, we didn't get a close below that. That green line was basically where there was a there was the zone. The zone did go away. See, that was on a 5-minute zone, or was that 15-minute? We saw that. There was a zone there, so the zone's gone right now. So I guess that's a good thing.
Would that change your reasoning?
Take it.
Well, the fact the zone's not there now, that means that it was penetrated and removed. I would probably be apt to put a sell stop at 49.80. I'll say sell stop at 49.80. What's the low on this here?
Good morning, great people. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Let me see what this
Morning.
thing looks like. We're looking at the EuroCAD there, Matt.
All right.
EuroCAD. Let me see. Let me see this chart better. Right now it's let's see, 5 minutes. Let's see what it looks like on a 1-minute chart here.
You're looking to go short?
Looking to go short. There was a green zone right in here. It just penetrated the green zone, but now it's got to pull back.
That EuroCAD keeps bouncing off of the squeeze zone support level on trading.
Yeah.
What is the support level? That of that.
So we have a fib line right here at 49.84. I don't like that one. If we get a bounce off of this trend line, I might be willing to take it short.
Likewise. I like your
I don't like the breakout. I don't like the breakout of here.
No, I don't. I don't like the overall trend for this 1 minute time frame or whatnot is a strong downtrend. So at the lower time frames.
So you'll be taking some heat on this one if 49.96 to, I mean, you already be down 10 pips if you take it on to try and get that breakout.
Let's see what happens here.
This could be a trap in here.
I still prefer it to the downside significantly.
Yeah, again, I'm not a big fan of breakouts, which basically that's what wedges are, the breakouts of wedges, but I like to see it retrace before it does. Here, it wicked up into that. Let's see what our strength meter says here. Let's see EuroCAD. CAD strong to the euro, strong to the euro.
Yeah, Euro's pretty soft today.
Yeah, I would say I'll go ahead and I can take it short now and with the acceptance of it to come back down again. I would keep my stop. I wouldn't use a 40 pip stop on this though. I'd use maybe a 10 pip stop.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at is a 10 pip stop on this one out.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a sell. EuroCAD sell. I'm going to give a 10 pip stop and maybe give a 10 pip target. I'll give a 20 pip stop and a 10 pip target. There we have it. We're in the trade. It's not. I'm not convinced it's going to break through the bottom here. It may give, if it gives us another little. If it gives us a strong move down, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my target, take Bravo to 20 pips.
Now we have in the Q&A that the EuroCAD has a zone on the H1 on NB.
Mm.
Zone
At the
on
bottom
H1,
there.
right at the bottom.
They just said a zone. Didn't
EuroCAD.
say resistance or support.
Let's see. Let's go to a 1 hour chart and see what it's got. Well, we're right in that. They're in that green zone on the 1 hour.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give this a lot of wiggle room to the upside.
Are you still working on this, or?
Well, I'm in the trade. I'm just sort of monitoring it right now, but we can move on to something else in the meantime.
Okay, you have a couple of things.
Okay.
Now, what pairs do you trade best, do you think, during the New York session?
Oh,
Also,
Canadian, US dollar, euros, I think are usually pretty good. Actually, the European pairs and the US pairs, or the North American pairs, I think are good. The British, the Swiss, the euro, the Canadian dollar, the US dollar. Those are probably your strongest ones during the first half of the US session.
okay, now you have also on the pound US. Now, this was a few minutes ago. On the M15, there was a sell, but on the H1, it looks good for a buy.
it depends what you're trading, right? If you're looking for a swing trade, then you're going to do the 1 hour, and if you're looking for a short-term trade, then you'll do the 15. It just depends what.
Yeah, try not to mix them up. Try to stick with one strategy with the whatever time frame you're trading on. That's the strategy you use for that time frame.
Absolutely, because that's also going to play around with your money management and the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
And lastly, we don't have an alert on the S&P. However, it looks like it's gearing up maybe for a sell.
And we are in an uptrend. So with part of the problem with the S&P is we're in an uptrend, and we want to try and keep the wind to our back. So with the S&P, you want to be looking at we're in a uptrend, so we want to be buying the pullbacks, or as opposed to now if we get an arrow, and we probably have enough room to the upside. And right now it's here's our zone. It had a nice little bounce. This is a bounce. This has been an arrow. This would have been the trade here, but this was earlier this morning before we got here. This is in the middle of the night last night during the London session. And you can see actually here's the daybreak. Here was the high before London. With the London session up here. So Marcus, you can see a little bit better. Is daylight savings this weekend? I heard something about that.
Yes, it is.
That's going to mess us up. That's going to play with our heads.
Is that daylight savings this weekend? Really?
Yeah, that's what
on
I
the
heard.
14th. Yep. It be true, kids.
And the other thing is that it's not always the same in Europe. So there's a British yen. It's not always, usually in Europe, a lot of times it's a week or two after. So that really messes up with our heads when it comes to what time things are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the breakout. Okay, let's look at the British yen here. Up arrow, looks like we're in an uptrend. Definitely in an uptrend. Up arrow, but probably not enough room, I'm gonna guess. Here's our zone. And the arrow would have been at 1508. We only got 10 pips to the zone, so we'd have to be looking at it to break through that zone. We have to see a breakthrough here before we can go on up to the top of it. Well, let's do that. Let's get a blue line on the top of this red zone. This might be a little bit like the other one that we had earlier.
EuroCAD's in profit, my friend.
Thank you. And let's see, we got the open trade. Let's go 151.29.
I actually forgot to put my stop loss and take profit on that trade.
Which
Hold on.
EuroCAD?
Yeah.
And stop would be 159. Oops, not 159. We'll call it 150. Let's just go with 180. Starters. Okay, so this one I don't want to take until it breaks this. And that's at 24, so 84 will be your stop. And we'll take a look at it on the trading view and see what that tells us for our target, see if there's even a target to be had up here. And then 24 to 44, right about to there. I'm not seeing anything close by. Let's take a look at our trading view and see what we can find on the British yen. Let's get on to a higher time frame chart. And we have a little right here on the 15-minute way over here. We're seeing 151.17. Yeah, I don't particularly like this. This is where that zone is that we're looking at. Here's a wick, come over here, I see right, another wick. So right here, this is the zone right through there. I'm using the top of the bodies, the wick in here, and then this whole area right in here where this wick is. As it came up, came back down, retested it, went back down. Now it's coming up for another retest into this area. Not enough room to the upside for a trade on that one. Pass on that. Looks like our profit went away a little bit here on the EuroCAD, but still hanging in. There's only 2 pips.
Yeah, that's true.
It's only 2 pips. So this British yen, I'm not too keen on. Anything else? Any other questions while we're waiting? Let me check our wedge alerts and see if there's anything on that recently. Last one we had it was 815 US Swiss with a descending wedge. 815 US Swiss. We'll come over here to the US Swiss. $15-minute chart. That's where these alerts come through on. Ooh, there's like nothing there. That's really consolidated. Then we're gonna mark 815. This is what we used to do with the wedges when we were using the iris alerts. We'd mark it, we get the alert at 815. We can try and find out what our range is. Big drop overnight. See where our strength is. We have the dollar is stronger by a lot to the Swiss, so we want to be trading this to the upside. And here's a high, here's a lower high. Basing, here's where the basing starts. And we start with this one right up here. Here's a high, here's a low. Here's the lower high, pretty much right before the alert, flat at the bottom. Be looking for this to break to the upside. Come over to our 5-minute charts. Go to our 1-minute chart and tweak it. Here's the high. And we try and get these tucked in as close to the alert as we can. Here's the break. Here's a break, here's a retest. This one's going up. Here would be the next target. Look at this area for a target. You get to close above where the C is. I'm going to take this trade. I'm not going to get in fast enough. Not enough screens and not enough. This thing's going long. Here's a target. I wanted to get in before.
Not
this
enough
candle
fingers,
took
right?
off. Not enough fingers, not enough screens. Couldn't get in.
It happens.
Let's see if I can get it on the my demo here. Let's see US Swiss. I don't know if we can get into it anymore or not. Let's see. That was the breakout there. Did you agree, Matt?
Looks like it to me. That looks
wait,
as clean as you can get.
That was the US Swiss, right? Or was that the US yen?
Yes, it was. It was the
US Swiss.
We might get
This
stopped
one.
on that Euro CAD.
This doesn't look like it's much here. What was I looking at? US Swiss.
On the one, yeah.
On the 1 minute, that's why it was.
Yeah.
It may actually give us a chance to get, may retest this again.
If it
That's a nice
bounces
little
there,
wick
you
right
might.
there. It's a nice little bounce off. Just looking at this area right in here. Bounce right off of that.
I was listening to a very, very interesting audio session last night, and I'm going to share it with you all later, and Eva and Christine, to see if you guys think the same. But it was pretty transformative.
Oh, cool.
And then maybe
Great.
after we all agree, then we could share it with the rest of the group.
Yeah, it was always. I'll tell you, there's a lot of news coming out with a lot of different places where they're trying to sell you subscriptions. I think some are good, some are not so good, and a lot of them. But I do think staying informed in these days is probably worth the, if you can afford the $50 for a year's subscription, it's probably worth the. It could be money well spent.
Yeah, this is completely free on YouTube, so
Completely free. Okay. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff in different areas that.
yeah.
There's not much to do with this one right now. Here was the break. Here's a wedge alert. Here was the break of the wedge. This was actually where the alert was and got broken in.
Little one likes to talk now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just jabbering away.
Yeah, my little guy's talking too. It's so funny.
He certainly has a mind of his own. I gotta give him credit for that, for his annoyance at it, maybe.
Nah, they're great.
I think this trade still has room to the upside. I'd be a lot of these alerts that we would get, or these iris alerts, we'd be in and out of these trades in 20 minutes. This one's
they're pretty
moving,
quick.
This one's moving, just chugging right. So you had right now you had the crossover of moving averages, and right now it's just following that moving average. We could actually be looking at where's my trend mark? This one here. You can actually be looking at this little area right in here to follow it for a stop. Just keeping it down a little bit to maybe the last pivot. As long as this thing stays green and doesn't cross over, you're still in an uptrend here. I did not take this trade. I just wasn't able to get in fast enough. The alert came through at 8:15, and it's already, what time is it? 8:20. So but it did break. It came back, retested it. Actually, this is really where the wedge was. The wedge alerts come on a 15-minute chart. Actually, I still kind of like this part. I still kind of liked where this one was. This was a little bit better signal than we were getting earlier. Before, a lot of times by the time you got the signal, it already broken, and this one got the signal right here at 8:15.
Maybe they tweaked it, Al. Maybe they tweaked it. I don't know.
I'm thinking they maybe have because I haven't really been looking at them that closely, but
neither have I.
One thing we're going to be doing in this session, especially while we're waiting for the arrow alerts, we'll be looking at both these iris and that's a nice little. Here is the alert. Here is the hit. And so what we do is we just tuck this thing in as close as we can to where we got the alert. And this was where it did. This is where it broke the trend line from this point down here. It broke it, but never hasn't really broken until just now. Here's where it really broke it, right in here. This could have been a trap right there, but we have the momentum. But the Swiss is definitely weak compared to the dollar. Dollar's picking up strength as we get closer to the opening of the U.S. markets. Anyway, not much we can do about this one right now. And I said on the arrow charts, it really didn't give us much. The U.S. Swiss really didn't give us much to go on the arrow charts. We don't usually get down to 1 minute, not so much. Plus, we have this little zone right up here at the with the moving averages. That's right at 30, 93.24. I remember too, so with the Eris, we were going for 7 pips. We weren't going for 20. We weren't using 40 pip stops either. We were using 10, maybe 15 pip stop at the most, and going for a 7 to 10 pip target for the most part. Going for a daily bid, trying to get our 2% on 5 pips.
Yeah, just try not to go too high, right?
Yeah. I'm starting to get challenged on our Euro CAD trade here. What happened there?
It's a good question. Hey, did we?
That was we were looking at this as being a market maker move, I believe, is what we were looking at with this one.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit of heat, Euro CAD.
Oh, I know what it was. We had a zone down here. It broke through the
That
zone.
green zone, right? That 1 hour green zone.
Yeah, there was a 5-minute green zone, and it went away. And we were looking at taking this on a we had a trend coming down. And we bought it when it tapped out the trend. Let's go take a look at that one again on the.
One of the things the guy said on the audio I was listening to, like some of the stuff he said was so good and so realistic. He said, if you think you're going to get into the trading world and not take losses, you're deceiving yourself. Your losses, like you need to be ready to lose money. You need to get that in your head that you're going to lose money.
Yeah, I don't know of a successful trader at all that hasn't blown up an account or two over the years.
No, this guy was trading 20 years and he blew 14 accounts before he started to get some kind of success.
Yeah.
Now he's a multimillionaire, but he had so many good points of advice.
What you do is you just you practice you learn the platforms. You practice strategies with demo. You go live with demo with small portions of your account, and just keep going. And if you lose it, well, if you lose that small portion, if you have a $10,000 worth to work with, and let's say you take 1% of that, well, you have $100. You can take that $100, put it into account, micro trade it with 0.01 lot sizes, and if you lose $100, well, you lose $100, but you're only losing 1% of your $10,000. Mm-hmm. You go back and you do it again. Eventually, you'll be able to grow as you get better and you train your brain to see the things that you want to be seeing. Eventually, that $100 will turn into $1,000 and $10,000. But you may have to go through that process, several times before you get. And the biggest thing is trying to be consistent, trying to get that range and consistency, months of consistent trades. That you're not going to win them all, but have months of results to where you could say, I may have had a bad week. I may have lost money this week, but the weeks before and after that, I was able to make up those differences. And that's what keeps you profitable. But you're going to have losing weeks. That's just the nature of the beast.
It sure is.
And but eventually you get through. You get the consistency. It's sort of like that exponential curve. Is that it doesn't look like a lot, and you don't make a lot, you don't lose a lot, and you say, well, I'm not even going to be able to pay my electric bill with these results. Well, you're not supposed to. What you're doing is you're looking at it as tuition into learning a new trade, a new skill.
Agreed.
And as you learn that skill, that's when you become profitable, and then you can start trading with bigger money because and you're still going to have the same percentage of losses, more than likely, and hopefully less from when you first started.
Yeah.
But it's just one of the growing pains you have to go through in order to get there.
Yeah, and I wholeheartedly believe that Arrow is the fastest way to grow that, to deal with that learning curve.
Well, even like the,
UJ has a W, eh? On the 15-minute. Says CB.
UJ,
Yeah.
Euro, yeah, Euro, UJ, UJ. There is a W here on the 15-minute. Yes, there is. And let's see what our look like here for our strength. That tool down here. It's propagating. Dollar strong to the. Let's make sure I got this on everything here. Turn this on. Symbols only, and go with that. Input. Symbol only. Signature, there he goes. Yep, dollar stronger. We got the W, see if we got a nice little trend. You could get a nice little, here's our W. I like this, we're using this with the harmonics. And now looking at pretty much maybe this type of I would be looking at this as a target possibly. See if we get a pullback. Let's go to a 15-minute, 5-minute chart. Here's the beginning of a pullback right here on the 1 minute. Here's our harmonic. This thing comes down, tags this, and gives us a little flip, and we can maybe take this one long. This is technical trading, guys. Right now, the yen just flipped in strength here. Sure I got this right. And from this trend line here to get a little bit of a little pullback here. We had the W. This might be that these are your V's that you have. Remember W, V, V, and then look for an M on the top. This might be the second V here. Where the W was. Here's the top of the W, came across. This may be the first pullback. That's only 7 pips to the top of this one. I like to see this moving average flip back over again. Right now you see that's basically the 2 moving averages. This little shaded area here is basically a combination of 2 moving averages, the 5 and the 13 exponential. And when that thing flips back over green and get a close above the green, that's when I want to be taking this thing long. So I'm keeping an eye on those arrow alerts while we're doing this and make sure we don't miss them. I'll be looking for a little bit of a tag down here. If we can get a tag on this trend line here, we might have a little bit of a trade here. I can scrunch this up to get my D here a little bit tighter. And all I'm doing is I'm just aligning this B to this little pivot here. I'm aligning the C. Here's an anchor. Here's a hit. Waiting for another hit. Once it hits off of this, look and take it long. If it breaks through and comes back and tests, it's going to go short. Just take a short, a tight stop on it. This is a little bit kind of like what you call scalping. You're only going for a few pips at a time. Let's go back to the US yen and see what it's doing on the our MT4 platform. We have the close above the arrow moving average. We have the close above the 200 moving average. We broke the trend line. And we could probably be using this as a target, ultimately a target. And this would be 22 pips, 24 pips. There's enough room to the upside. We do have a little bit of concern about this little point right here, but this part was broken. Not much for wicks above here. This is the first time you're going to run into the wicks right over in this area right here.
Sorry, Al, did I hear my name? The internet guy just came to the door. He's like an hour early. Did you want me to look at something?
No, you're good. No, we just want to make sure that while I was doing the trading view charts that someone was minding the store with the alerts. Because I'm only, so being down to one monitor, I can't, I can only show one. If I'm off the arrow charts, I don't get the alerts on my desktop.
Okay.
Well, when Matt
Matt,
comes,
you're good to go.
It looks like we're good. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Everything's
Okay.
everything's still very standard, normal, and uneventful.
Okay. Back as soon as I can.
We'll see how this, let's go to a 5-minute chart on this one. See how this 5-minute candle closes out. So you have a little bit of a trend here. Remember. Have a good day. Let's see how this candle closed out. Right now we have an engulfing candle. This candle here is engulfing this one. I like to start seeing it start trending a little bit. Let's take a look at a 1-minute chart. You got that zone right here that you have to deal with. If it's strong enough, it'll blow right through it, but I'm not so sure it is. Let's see, US Tech, let's double check that one and see if that one's doing anything that we need to know about. That's a buy at 576. $576. That was still that was this one right here. That was still a few minutes ago. That was 15 minutes ago. We got that one. We have this zone right up on top. Yeah, this is the one we still said we had this zone. We still have to get through that zone before we could take it, and then nothing much here. Yes, Eva.
no, it's Christine.
Oh.
On the pound New Zealand in the Q&A, On the 15-minute, there was it bounced off the support, the arrow moving average, and the 200. Question is, good for a buy?
I'll tell you what, we'll take a look at that. Do we have a pound? We just got another
Okay,
alert
just
here.
came in. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, we'll address that as soon as we get done looking at these.
Sure.
Pound Aussie looks like. All right, this one may pound Aussie. Let's see what our trend is here. We're in an uptrend. That's good. We had a bounce. We have an arrow. Looks like we have room to the upside. This looks like this could be a good trade.
That's good.
Yep, we're gonna take that. I'm gonna take this one. We're gonna buy that one. And US Swiss. Pound Aussie, and US Swiss. Let's see what that one looks like. This looks like this could be in a downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Which way are you going here? We're in an uptrend with a down arrow. I like the other one better. Let's go back to the pound Aussie. And we took that trade. And we're going to put our stop and target in. Don't want to forget to do that. And this is going to be 400. It's going to be 200. Click that one, get them in the windows, and we got it set. Now, if you want, you can always put it on up to the top of the red zone if you want to go for more than 20 pips. Me, I'm okay with just the 20 pips. I'm trying to see where my pound Aussie trade is on something else here. Pound Aussie, here we go. What are you looking at right now on your screens?
See your MT4 there.
On the
Your
arrow chart?
variable. No, your variable.
You're looking at variable? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, where it says your license expired.
My license expired. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's weird.
What do you see now?
Arrow.
Arrow. That's weird. I thought it was showing something different. Okay. Well, that explains some things. Looks like we got stopped out on that one, didn't we?
Yeah, on the CAD, Euro CAD. CB says there's no up arrow on GA for NV users, so.
No up arrow for Envy, huh? Well, all we can do is trade our charts, I guess.
Absolutely.
Different brokers are going to give you different feeds, so I guess that's why people use different brokers. Well, I guess no, I'm not sure one's better than the other. To be honest with you, it is what it is.
Yeah. You kind of It's been pretty consistent. Like overall, when you evaluate all of the moves that we looked at.
It's kind of close enough to be. I mean, that's and maybe it gives us a chance to take trades of before one actually gives the signal toward two.
Right.
But why they're different? You would think they'd be pretty close to the same, and they are basically pretty close to the same. It's just there's a couple pip differences between different brokers at certain times. Let's go back to that trading view chart that we were looking at. Here's where we're looking at, seeing where it came back down. Right now, we're still not ready to get into this thing. I much prefer to get bounces off of the bottom of a wedge to go long and bounces off the top of the wedge to go short. I'd much rather do that. And then hopefully you can maybe go short up here. Then if it breaks, to continue on with the move. But a lot of times with these wedges, it'll give you these little head fakes. And you have to look and see where the previous rejection of a price was. So like here, you're looking at the price was rejected here, came back up, came back down, didn't make the trend line, a little bit lower, higher low, came back up, was rejected. So we have this strong move up, pull back, strong move up. Then you have a series of 3 pullbacks in here. This might be a good spot to actually take this thing long as it rejected off of here. So you could take it long off of this rejection and have a very, very tight stop down below. And if you're right, I would keep a stop. I would probably keep my stop down below these pivots. We'll see what happens right now with this.
Okay, CB is saying that on the possible short on EU on the M15, and then you're going to check back at that pound New Zealand. Also.
Okay.
Thank you.
Short on the EU. Let's take a look at that one first. No arrow yet. Possible short. It did break through the 200, closed below the arrow. A lot of downward, a lot of red zones. So we're going short. Down arrows up here. At the break of the 200, break of the arrow. Now this can come up, test, and come. I'd be more apt to take a short with a sell stop. I'd like to see an arrow first. This could be a market maker move, where a strong move up, got everybody sucked in. Now we're coming back, get the market makers up here, and then take it short once it gets back up and retest it. Looking for a little trend line from here, somewhere down along this way. About like that. We'll see where this thing comes up. If it gets rejected somewhere up here, then we'll adjust our trend line. If it gets rejected, we'll find out where the trend line becomes rejected. That's our second hit. Here's the anchor. We're still waiting for our second hit on the trend line to establish the trend line, then wait for the third hit to take it short. And what was the other one, Christine?
Pound New Zealand.
Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand. Okay, again, we're looking at direction. We have lots of green, not so much red. Uptrend. Up arrow. Here we go. Up arrow here. And we have a down arrow off the bounce. Let's see if we can possibly get a Another bounce. Let's see if we can get an arrow off this bounce. Cross the moving averages, closed above the moving averages, and let's see if we get an arrow. We could have some room to the upside. This would be a possibility. It would be the target, and we're looking at that's 42, 46 pips. Need the arrow first. Let's see if we can get one on 5 minute. That one down here. Here's a bounce arrow. It's a little template. Find some lines here. 193, 1.9389, call it. 1.9389. There's that. And we have target. And no green zones along, so we got room up to the upside here. This is the British New Zealand. Let's see what how strong those are with each other.
Oh yeah, so the New York session starts in the next 3 minutes. So I think Jackie's taking that one this morning.
Machine, okay. All right.
Yeah, we need to be shutting down, Al, in a couple minutes.
Okay. Yep. All right. Yep. British New Zealand looks like the British is strong here, and New Zealand is pretty much right close by. Not real big difference there. I'll pass on that for right now. And with that, yeah, we have about 3 minutes, so we're going to wrap this thing up. Any last minute questions or comments before we leave here?
None from
Yeah,
me. Just
okay.
a big thank you for hosting the call there, Al.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Again, it's always a pleasure having everybody. We're glad to have you. We'll be here again tomorrow morning at 7:30. And stay green. And so we didn't have any real positive trades today. We have a couple that we're in, still waiting to see what happens with them. But other than that, maybe we'll see you over at Jackie's session. And again, thanks again for coming in. We appreciate every one of you. We appreciate your questions and your participation. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again.
Have a great day, everybody. God bless.